Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob, and this video, we're going to do our weekly review for the horror thriller chiller series. Yes, and you know what? After last week's video, in the interest of crazy endings, this movie this week we're going to review is The Sixth Sense. Now, not everybody considers this a horror movie. It definitely. Another movie that borderline, it's definitely not as gruesome as The Mist. The Mist has some pretty gruesome moments, definitely some creepy moments with all the creatures. But this movie, nonetheless, does have some parts that kind of make you jump. It does have some parts that, you didn't expect, in terms of, what's around the corner or what's being portrayed on the film and then what you actually see. So I kind of put it in the thriller category. And that's what I kind of consider, the horror movies, thriller movies, things that make you just kind of go, you're watching intently, but at the same time, you're kind of like looking over to the corner in case something pops out and scares you. But the ending is one of the big things about this movie. It's what made this movie, much like The Mist. So The Sixth Sense, basically, Bruce Willis plays a doctor, a child psychologist. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, because if there's even one person out there who has not seen this movie that stumbles on this review, I don't want to spoil it for them. So I know you guys have been pushing for me to just give full-blown reviews and spoilers, and I'll do that with some movies, but I'm not going to do it with, like, this movie. I'm not going to do it with The Mist. I try not to do that altogether, just in case there's one person that happens to come around and has never seen the movie. But he plays a child psychologist who is award-winning, and he's done phenomenal work, and he has one child that, unfortunately, he could not help. And that comes back to bite him in the ass, more or less. It comes back to really... kind of ruined things for him, and he's so worked up and so upset about not being able to help this kid that he gets a case similar to that, and he's just dead set on helping this kid. Like, nothing will stop him, to the point that it could even ruin his marriage and things like that. So, classic case of a doctor who is so involved in his work that nothing else around him matters. This was also M. Night Shyamalan's one of his first, if not the first movie he's ever made. I believe it's his first movie, and his best one to date. I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of gone downhill for him since then, but this was an excellent movie. Say what you want about M. Night, this movie is excellent. Now, throughout the movie, he has to earn this kid's trust, and it's hard. It's tough. It's a hardship throughout the whole movie, earning this kid's trust. And finally, when he finally does begin to earn his trust, he begins to realize that what the issue with this kid, what's going on with him, is legit. Now, there's no spoiler here. You guys remember the commercials. He sees dead people. Nobody believes him. His mother won't believe him. Things happen around him that are unexplainable, and it frustrates the people around him, including his mother. So he doesn't trust Bruce Willis's character, who I believe his name was Dr. Coleman. I think that was his name. So, but little by little, he begins to gain the kid's trust, and the kid, on the flip side, starts to share more with him, until, more or less, Bruce realizes that this is affecting Dr. Coleman. Excuse me, not Coleman. I'm saying Coleman. It's Dr. Crow. Cole was the name of the little boy. So he finally starts to realize that this is affecting his work. It's affecting his life. And just when he's about to break ground with this little boy, he starts to pull out of the project. And the little boy is devastated. And he tells him, he says, look, I need you here. I need you with me. You can't quit now. You can't give up now. And he's trying to explain to the kid in tears that he can't go on. His life's falling apart. Finally, the boy convinces him, more or less, to stay on. He does it reluctantly. And he comes to a revelation that not only does he have this power, he has the power, power, talent, whatever the case may be, but he can also help them. And he encourages him, help these people. Don't be afraid of them. Because some of the dead people that he does see, it's grotesque. Like, you got this one kid who had, like, this big bullet hole in the back of his head. He's seeing all these dead people coming to him at random. He sees how people had died before. Like, there's one scene where he's walking through a hallway, and there's people hanging from the rafters. That's how they died years ago. He can see all that. So because of that, I mean, let's face it, that's kind of scary to see. It's grotesque to see some of the people who are dead. But they're there for help. They can't rest until they have done whatever it is they've come to do. And Dr. Crow basically encourages him to help them despite all that. And he helps him on his first assignment. Dr. Crow helps Cole on his first assignment with a little girl. And, won't go into detail there and how that happened, because that's another good point of the movie. But he ends up helping the girl, and he realizes, yes, this is how it goes down. Once once he has the bravery to do this, then that is when the whole healing begins for little Cole. He's able to accept what he can do. It brings his mother and him closer together, and it makes Dr. Malcolm Crowe feel a sense of redemption, and he can finally just move on with his life, be with his wife, whatever the case may be. And it's a really good movie. It really is. That's the gist of it. There's a lot of stuff I left out because, again, this is a movie you need to see if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it yet, I don't know what planet you're living on. I really don't. But in the sense that there's always a couple of people here who might not have seen it. If there's a couple of people here who are questioning about it, I would say go check it out. If you got mind screwed by The Mist, this is probably the ultimate mind screw. Well, there's a couple of them out there. Fight Club has a great mind screw. Obviously, The Mist has a great mind screw. This is one of the best. This is one of the best mind screws in the world. And I don't care what anyone says. There have been people who told me, yeah, I kind of saw that coming. I don't believe a fucking word when somebody says that. Nobody saw this ending coming, so you can't convince me otherwise. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Because it's set up so well, and the way they do it, it kind of makes you wonder why you didn't see things coming. But before you know the outcome, you did not have a clue. No one did. Screw you. Full of shit. Okay. But anyway, guys, that's it. It's a great movie. It does have some moments that'll scare you. It does have some pretty grotesque scenes of some of these dead people. So I'm not saying it's over, it's not over the top. But, there's some moments. But I definitely put it into that category. After doing last week's movie, I said, I want to do another crazy ending scary movie. This is definitely one of them. Not as scary as some other movies, but it's got its moments. But nonetheless, a great, great movie. And please do not spoil it in the comments for others. In fact, I'm going to set this one to approval. Yes. That's how much I don't want anyone to screw this up for anyone else, because it's that good of a movie that I think someone who hasn't experienced it should go out and experience it. And I don't want to take any chance that someone's going to ruin it. So please, the comments will be set to approval by me. So if you say anything spoilerish in the comments, I'm going to delete the comment. Otherwise, I'll push everything through like normal. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. This is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Nation Facebook page.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob, and this video, we're going to do our weekly review for the horror thriller chiller series. Yes, and you know what? After last week's video, in the interest of crazy endings, this movie this week we're going to review is The Sixth Sense. Now, not everybody considers this a horror movie. It definitely. Another movie that borderline, it's definitely not as gruesome as The Mist. The Mist has some pretty gruesome moments, definitely some creepy moments with all the creatures. But this movie, nonetheless, does have some parts that kind of make you jump. It does have some parts that, you didn't expect, in terms of, what's around the corner or what's being portrayed on the film and then what you actually see. So I kind of put it in the thriller category. And that's what I kind of consider, the horror movies, thriller movies, things that make you just kind of go, you're watching intently, but at the same time, you're kind of like,